Hello again, my friends! Pirate Scum Gaming here, and today I am going to be bringing you my Pirate Boarding Party Pet Summoner Ground build. This build took some inspiration from Stu 1701's Pet Summoner build, and I know it's been a while since I've brought you a ground build, so I felt this was overdue. This is a very highly effective ground build. I parsed this at 3.6k DPS on Bug Hunt Elite. I did not expect it to do that well, so needless to say, I was very happy with the outcome. So let's go ahead and jump right into this. First up, I have the Covert Assault Drone. This is available to you in the Infinity Box or on the Exchange. What it does, it creates a little drone that attacks anything you shoot at. Now there's a trick to this particular kit module, and it has to do with the Section 31 Heavy Phaser Rifle. This was an event reward from 2019, and the nice thing about this particular weapon is that most people don't realize this is the secondary fire mode, the sweeping beam setting. That triggers that assault drone like crazy. It turns that thing into just a little machine gun. Just absolutely obliterates anything that you're shooting at. It is amazing to watch, and it is very, very powerful. Next is the Echo Papa 607 drone system. This is also available to you in the Infinity Box. It launches a Mark 1 drone, and I have never seen this thing go beyond Mark 1. It's very resilient, and it attacks fairly hardly. It really goes out there and touches someone, if you know what I mean. Next is the Harmonic Lure. This comes also from the Infinity Box. You launch a little beacon at the enemy, and it summons some Dranzuli to come fight at your side. They are very vicious, very aggressive, and they hit hard, as I will show you in the Parse Explanation coming up in a little while. Next is the AGIMUS Aggression Network. This thing is really friggin' cool. You summon AGIMUS, and yes, they included Jeffrey Combs' melodious voice. It's amazing. Allow me to demonstrate this. Listen carefully. As you can see, it's Jeffrey Combs' voice. I absolutely love that. I'm very happy they included his voice in this. These guys are quite aggressive. These guys really do go after the enemy. I can't get enough of that. I seriously cannot get enough of that. Okay, next is the Mud's Time Device. This is from the Disco Reputation. I'm pretty sure just about everybody knows about this. Using a kit module during the effect recharges other kit modules by 15% of the used module's recharge time. And if you would die, instead you cheat death. Return to where you activated the device, heal, lose all threat, and the effect ends. And last but not least is the Watcher Robots. This came out in the Prodigy lockbox. It's also available on the Exchange or in the Infinity Box. This activates the Watcher drones as seen on Star Trek Prodigy. These guys, they do fairly well for themselves. I was not disappointed with their performance. For the kit, we have the original Ryzian kit frame. The important thing to note about this is when you get it, re-engineer it before you upgrade it, because if you upgrade it then try to re-engineer it, you will not be able to get the K-Perf ×3. Body armor is Burnham CQC armor from the Disco Reputation. This is currently the meta ground armor as far as I know. I've been using this ever since it came out, and it has yet to do me wrong. Next, we have the Cool Temporal Operative Personal Shield. This is a mission reward, and it's part of a two-piece here. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. As you can see, I have the other part of the two-piece here slotted as my secondary weapon. I've yet to use this thing. Basically, I set it and forget it, so I get the Agents Training two-piece. Agents Training plus 2% crit chance and 30% crit severity. I very briefly talked about the Section 31 Heavy Phaser Rifle. Again, this is an event reward from 2019. On its own, it's alright. It has fairly mid-range damage. It doesn't have the distance that other ground weapons do, but the reason we're using it for this build is to proc the absolutely insane machine gun mode that is the Covert Assault Drone. Ground devices. I am using the Nano Pulse Warthog. You can get this in the C-store. Now, this guy's pretty aggressive. Old Professor Porkchop here, as I like to call him. He will definitely go give someone a hard time, if you know what I mean. He will just headbutt the living hell out of someone. Next is the Miniaturized Delachi Walker. This came from the To Hell with Honor event in 2020. And this guy's also pretty good. He hits pretty hard. So if you have him, I highly recommend you using him. Next is the gambling device. You can get this on the exchange or in the Lobby store. If you win, you get good luck. If you lose, you get bad luck. But the nice thing is that after about 20 or so seconds, you can re-roll this if you lose. I know some people like using the Rainbow Tribble, and that's perfectly okay. If you have the Rainbow Tribble, use it. However, I do recommend the gambling device. I've only had it lose for me a couple of times, less than a handful of times when I needed it not to. So odds are you're going to win pretty solidly all the time. Next is the large kit overbooster, available to you in the kit R&D when you reach level 15, plus 25 kit performance. So there's really not much to talk about there. And next is my new favorite ground device, BADGEY. I love this little guy. This guy just goes absolutely batshit crazy and stabs and slashes and just mauls the enemy. Does he do a lot of DPS? No, absolutely not does he do a lot of DPS. I parsed it at like 1.3 DPS. But he's still so amusing to watch. As a matter of fact, I'm going to cut to a clip here of BADGEY in action for you guys, so you guys can see just how crazy this little guy is. He is just as insane as you saw him in lower decks as he is in game, and they did a marvelous job with his animation model too. So let's cut to that. Did I lie? He's crazy. He's absolutely nuts, and I absolutely love this little guy. He is the perfect pirate's companion. A guy who's just not afraid to just run up to someone and just stab him to death. I love that. This little guy is amazing. I'm glad I picked him up. All right, let's go ahead and look at skills. Same ground skills I've been using all along. I really don't see very much reason to re-roll this. This works perfectly as it is. Specializations. Temporal Operative Primary for the kit cooldown. And Commando. Commando has a bunch of cool stuff. Reduce secondary fire modes, which helps on that Section 31 rifle. You also get some kit. You also get 20% cooldown reduction for all kit abilities, which is nice. And that secondary fire mode by 5 seconds or by 25%, whichever is less. That's nice. I've never used the aiming thing, so I've never really got too much out of this. This is amusing. Wrecking Ball. You do a forward roll and you poop out a mine. That's amusing. I actually use this quite a bit when I do Chorog's confetti parade mine build. So I've been meaning to do a revamp of that, so I may be doing a revamp of that in the near future, so watch out for that. And the Juggernaut system, this is nice. Let me go over here real quick. Gets a damage resistance rating and 20% max hit points. So yeah, this is my preferred specializations for ground. If you guys use something different, hey, if it works for you, hey, by me, all means use it. For this particular build, this is what I'm using. Okay, let's talk about some traits, shall we? First up, I have Shadow of the Black Mountain. I believe this is a Lobby purchase. This is a built-in character ability. You get this when you make your character. 30% plus 30 kit performance. Next up, Field Technician. This is an engineer exclusive, plus 50 kit readiness. Hive Mind. I highly recommend this, especially when you're doing story missions and you have your away team with you. Plus 2% bonus all damage per teammate. Now, if you upgraded your bridge officers and you each gave them this Hive Mind, you're getting a lot of extra damage out of that. Adrenal Release. This is from the Exchange or Infinity Box. Technophile. This is the Kit R&D trait. Assault Drone Fabrication. This is for engineers. Support drones gain a wide beam secondary fire, which is nice. Next, Hive Defenses. When taking damage, you summon a Herc Attendant to assist you in combat for a little while. And these guys are fairly aggressive. They will protect you, and they do attack the enemy quite vigorously, which is nice. I like to call these guys Chorog's Fleas, because, you know, Nuskin Fleas, they're pretty aggressive. Upgraded gear. This is also from the Lobby store. And Space Explorer is a great gig, also from the Lobby store. Let's take a look at our ground reputation. First off, we have Miniaturized Chrono Capacitor, plus 9.4% kit module ability recharge speed. The more your kit modules recharge, the better you are. Personal Energy Amplifier. Kit-based skills deal 6.3% bonus damage. Plus 20% crit severity from deadly aim. Lethality, crit chance. And magnified armaments plus 6.3% bonus all damage. Alright, let's take a look at my ground duty officers. First up, I have Old Neil Falconer. This is an old event reward. You can now get him in the Phoenix store. Not only does he work on ground, he works on space as well. So that's kind of a nice thing that duty officer does. We have this guy's name, who I'm not even going to try to pronounce, Mr. Potato Head here. Chance for stacking, crit chance, buff on firing ranged weapons. Now, like I said, this weapon is not exactly a long range weapon, but it does have some decent range. So on an energy weapon that would have a longer range, I believe this guy and this guy will have a little bit more better effect. But for the purposes of this build, they work out just fine. Mr. Buggyman here. Chance to reduce recharge on turrets and drones. And see, I'm using drones. Nilmus, Fabrication Engineer. Chance to beam in an additional support drone. And Verilan, Transporter Officer. Decreases recharge time of ground combat pet devices and consumables. Okay, well, that's pretty much it for the build. So next up, I am going to be showing you the bug hunt I recorded. I ran that on Medic357 stream. Go check him out on Twitch. I will make sure to link his channel in the comments below. Also, helping me out on this is Valerie, who is the ground guru. She is the best ground player I have ever seen. She is absolutely amazing, and she has helped me out multiple times getting records. So without further ado, let's jump to that bug hunt. let's go stop some bugs, and then we'll have some words afterwards. Catch you on the flip side. Alright, we really stomped the bugs flat on that planet. I'll tell you, we just had bug goo everywhere. Here is the parse for that run. I am, of course, Chorog at James Bryce. And as you can see, I did a 3.6K. That is quite good for this build. I am very happy with its overall performance. You saw how well it did. My drones were just absolutely tearing stuff apart, left, right, and center. The rifle was doing what it needed to do to proc the covert drone, and I even got BADGEY into the action at the very end, taking out the bug leader. Just stabbing it to death. Just stab, 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 stab. I love that little guy. He's so amusing. So let's go ahead and take a look at the analysis here. Okay, we have Janzuli really did well for themselves. They did 743. Beam sweep for my rifle came in second place at 556. Covert assault drone right under it. The Echo Papa drone, they did fairly well for themselves. And AGIMUS, I was hoping to do a little better, but still, he did pretty good for himself. Orbital Strike, that's a captain ability. That did fairly well. And here's everybody else. So yeah, this build, this worked out fine. I'm very happy with the way this came out. So, on to some final thoughts. Final thoughts on the build. I'm quite happy how this build turned out. It didn't disappoint me. It delivered the way I kind of expected it would. I mean, the 3.6K parts was a little bit of a surprise. But other than that, I really enjoy this build, and I recommend this build. If you guys want to give it a try, it's really worth it. It's nothing like sending an army of your own little minions to absolutely ruffle stomp the enemy. And considering, Trog's a pirate here, so it makes sense that you have a whole army of drones to send on a boarding action. And, hey, why waste his bridge officers' lives and just send his drones out there to take care of business? So yeah, I like this build. It performed well. I highly recommend it for you guys to try it. And if you guys have a similar drone build, I'd like to hear about it. Tell me about it. What you think? How you like it? Would you like to improve it? Heck, go ahead and try this build. Tell me how you liked it. I always love to hear from you guys. I love chatting with my people down in the comments section. So I look forward to hearing from you. So this has been Pirate Scum Gaming. And remember, this is just a game. Have fun, play it your way, and remember, don't go by the book. Think like a pirate. And I will catch you next time. Later.
Human. Play, Damjat. Human.